Hello everybody, we are live today once again, and I am going to go ahead and see how many people are there. Hello, okay, so I think we are live. I can see that. I'm probably gonna refresh it. Hopefully there are some people who are going to view my stream. Again, today we are still working on the same poster. So there is no one live right now, I guess. And 100% of the CPU is being used. OBS is using about 17%, Task Manager about 2-3%, Krita is the most optimized application right now, use 0%. And Firefox eventually start to use lesser and lesser, but we still are almost 45, and that's because OBS and Firefox are using a lot of resources, and there probably be other. If we go ahead and do this, we will be able to see. I don't want to end task that in the middle of streaming, but anywho, so we are back live again, and still nobody is live. Nobody's live. I'm gonna do refresh one more time. Maybe need to refresh into Tidy Labs. I don't know. I'm not so sure. Need to refresh in Tidy Labs to see if. Okay, maybe I do. Let me see for a second. No, there's no one live right now. I guess I need to start. Maybe it's not a good time. Maybe I have to. What I have to do is eventually have to figure out what time is best for me to stream. I don't think this is the best time. I think early morning would be the best time. Still, okay, now we do have 3 viewers. Yeah, 3 viewers came along. Thank you for you guys. You can see on the top of the screen. If you do, please let me know. By the way, do interact with me. Message me if you can. You can see the goal of this month is that many lemons. So I request you to support me while I'm sketching. Today I am still going to work on the leg. Still, unless the leg reaches the place, like as much as time I have spent. Okay, today here in my place, the weather is really it's overcast, and you can hear subtle thunder sound. So it's getting just started, and it's gonna rain in a moment or so, and you probably would hear thunder. It's rainy weather outside, so if you hear something in the background, it's that. Now we are gonna keep on working on the leg, and I am going to try to finish what we have started yesterday on the leg part and remove. I love the way I shaded with pencil. Pencil is more like really versatile rather than the pen we have right here. It's eventually gonna become one shade. Pencil slowly eventually reaches the darkest shade and lightest to darkest. So we have that, and we have to clean a lot of this upper body torso in order for this sketch to look good. So right now I'm going to finish this. Hopefully you do hear my voice very clearly. Hopefully. You don't hear any of noise that is coming from the background. Hopefully you don't. So we are going to start. I would start with cleaning what we do previously because I'm not so much happy with what we have right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to clean it, keeps on changing this with as softer the eraser is, the better the performance, or better for the sketching period or sketching stage. I still have to press this B button for it to get back to the brush. I don't know, constantly shifting back and forth between brush and the reference tool. I think I do like this one. Do like these lines. I'm not gonna draw exactly as it appears here, but for some reason I do want to do so. First, the shadows or the light is coming from this direction down here. So the light is kind of coming from this direction down, like that, down here. So I'm not that good at doing light's direction on the sketches. Not that good. I'm more or less of a 3D artist, so that I do like the ability to do it right on the sketch. All I have to do is in 3D application is to place a light and just forget it and let the computer calculate it. And it does not disappoint me, and it does a pretty good job. So we need to erase that. Okay. Again, do need to figure that the light is, or you need to keep in mind what I was looking for. The word was keep in mind the light is coming from this direction downwards here. So the light is coming from there, so all I need is not only the shadow would be placed on the opposite end, this part, opposite end of the sketch, and also if the light is coming from other direction, then what is going to happen is there is going to be a lot of global definition and global or ambient occlusion for those of you who are familiar with the 3D terms. I'm gonna use more of the terminologies that I am familiar with. Okay. So what I might do is do it this way, and probably do it this way. So this way it is going to add that shadows onto the surface. But for now, I feel like I'm gonna do it very subtly because I don't want to go all the way in, because we have a lot of for pencil and paper. Thing is, I don't want to make mistakes using my ink pen. So that is why I was almost like finishing this work right here, with the shading stuff, so I know exactly where to draw. Here I have a lot of room for error, a lot of room for mistakes, and I am a lot loose, so my sketch style is also changing. It look more rough, and I'm more comfortable and less like more comfortable making mistake and less interested in finishing this work right away with the pencil brush, because that is more or less kind of waste of my time. Okay, so I am more interested in finishing this leg first, this front leg first, and then go ahead and finish the rest of this. These are cats, street cats behind in the background. I think you guys left. I hope some of you guys come and stay. Please do, because I do need a lot of support. Okay, cats in the street are fighting like crazy. Okay. So yes, like that, just like that. I do feel like I need a strong like that, like this. Like this. And probably like this. Maybe not, maybe not. This is the reason why I'm kind of figuring out. Pencil feels really different, even though it's very smooth. Pencil feels very different. It feels, for some reason, it gives you a feel of what you want to draw. There are advantages of pencil. Once you get used to it, it feels really good. And there are disadvantages that you cannot go back constantly. There is no undo there. Huge disadvantage, in my opinion. So that would do this. That should do this. It's very rough. It's very rough as compared to what I'm drawing here, or what I've drawn here on the piece of paper. That is very good. The shading is unbelievably three-dimensional. If you look at, especially you look at this part, you feel that shading. You look at this part, it feels three-dimensional. So I think I got very used to the paper. Now my finish on the piece on the tablet feels really rough. Okay, I need to think about that. If I look in here, I can see. By the way, people, if you are here, need to know that I would be shutting this stream down every hour into the stream, because downloading that video and uploading would become a lot easier for me. I do have a slight issue. Once I figure things out, I'm gonna be much better at streaming, and then we would have a smooth stream. I'm still not able to add the alert box or chat box. I do click on chatting and it doesn't work. So That being said, I feel like that I need to just do that. You add a strong shading and probably add, maybe go zoom in it. For some reason I'm trying to end the shading right here, which I again explain to you guys and explain to myself I don't need to do this, but since it's not gonna look coherent and I have some sort of issue as an artist unless things looks coherent, I feel like I need to do them even though there is no reason for me to, because we can finish this in the line art session of this art piece. So I think I should do removal of that and go back and probably do this. The light is coming from front, they're gonna be right back there. Yeah. Just like that. Yeah, I think I do like this, but as much as it looks good, but if you're wearing the boots, you're not gonna see that. That's constantly something occurring in my mind, that it would be really very smooth. Even though it looks good, it's gonna be really smooth. The best you can see is this part right here. Yeah, something like that, and probably like this. Like this. I do need to so I think it needs to go back like that. Let me go in and make sure that this guy looks perfectly fine, and we need to add this, so probably just gonna erase that because it's a boot, so we need to erase that, and we need to let me see, give me a second, let me just figure things out. I just cannot make sense of what I was looking at previously, but I think it's this guy right here. Yes, this guy right here. Like that. We may end up polishing this work in the line art session of Forgive me if I just stay quiet for you guys because kind of busy, kind of like the more I talk, the less my brain is able to figure out what I want to do. So I don't think I don't need that much heavy shading on the even if I should go there, I need to remember these are curves. So rather than draw like that. So even what happens is it kind of when you want to end the cross hatching, what happens is it adheres to the shape of the muscle and it ends the way it's supposed to, like this. It would make more sense that this is three-dimensional. So keep that thing in mind and keep the shape of the muscle in your head. So I think right here what we need to do is erase the reason why it doesn't look that adhering to the shape is because we are not drawing this according to the shape of these muscles. So probably I would go ahead and probably erase a lot of them, redoing this part, which again I don't know why I'm doing this, but knowing that we need to, let me see what it was before. Okay, I need to do that way and do it this way, right? Maybe not. Like that. So that helped us a lot. I'm gonna go back to where it was, and now that I can see what I need to do here is, okay, we'll do that later. By this time, I believe that our feet or our legs are complete. I do believe if there's anything I would come back and see if I can adjust or finalize this more, but for now I'm mostly kind of happy with this. It turns out to be. All I have to do now is add that detail. So this foot, maybe it's gonna be straight like that. Straight like this. Okay, yes, so we are going to add my bed. Let's just see if we are able to rotate this one. What's this? Yes. Thanks thank my brother for giving me this mouse, or thank God that I have this mouse, so it's kind of easy for me to figure out what angle I want this thing to be in. We're gonna erase a lot of this part. Trying to keep this foot as straight as possible. It's still going this direction. Am I doing an let me see. Okay, so if I go ahead, yes, what is happening is not that the foot is not straight, the angle that it's giving me is. So what we can do is go back. It looks pretty straight to me, and rather than snapping this guy, we can go ahead and do that. And once we figure out that this guy needs to be raised, this guy needs to be raised, that guy needs to be raised, we erase them slightly or subtly improve upon the quality of the sketch. And by the way, it doesn't have to be perfectly straight either. As long as it's readable, you should zoom up, zoom into that, and kind of we'll work on that later. It's gonna be really harsh right now, but we can always come back and see if we can work with that. Hello. Hi. Do you guys hear my voice? Sorry for. I'm gonna be constantly forgetting that I need to talk. So for And forgive my background as well. Forgive me for the background noise as well. So, going and finalizing, finishing this work slowly, but you will be able to see the result of it, and I would be able to tell you if I'm not happy with the result, and you would be able to tell my artistic skills, my skill as artist, that I can look at a piece and tell you that if it's not finished. By the way, those of you who are here new, follow me on Twitter. What I'm doing is trying to run a campaign for my comic book character that I want to finish the comic off. I have written 70% of, well, I've done 70% of the work, almost 70%, because I can't say for certainty if I go back and have to revise some of what I've already done. So please do consider follow me, support me, and other than that, you can share my work. Should it be straight, flat line like that? I think it should be. Let me take a look at some of the references. Although I do like how it's turning out to be, and I'm gonna still fine tune it further and further. Yet slightly curved, but it also can be straight. Superman, that is also slightly curved and more triangular shape. I'm not gonna go and keep on changing the shape of my work, but I've looked into the real life reference images for the boots, for the shoes as we have here. There are subtle curves, but this complete has become thin for some reason, but in some boot it's just flat. As you can see here as well, there are very slight curves, but they are not necessary, especially they would be in a shoes, but this character is wearing boots, so if someone is wearing boots, we would know that person, okay, we know that the boots itself would be mostly straight lines. And we need to ever so subtly, we can have a like that. Yeah, we can have a tilted angle at the sole of that stuff. We can have a subtle arc in there, a slight arc in there. Erase that part and erase that part. Maybe erase this as well. Um, yes, like that. By the way, once we tilt the entire canvas, we should have ability to still stay horizontal and have a horizontal and vertical lines based on the world, not based on the canvas. The world horizontal and vertical axis should stay same. We don't have that ability, and the reason why it's slightly problematic for me to. It's order 7, but I'm gonna also save on top. As I'm telling you guys, we may reach a 1 hour limit of this. After 1 hour or so, I would keep on shutting down this stream and reopening it. We have to complete 6 hours today. I want to complete 6 hours or at least 4 hours. Previously, I've done, I guess, 3 hours, and we have to finish it our mark, so 5 hours it has to be. So not 6, probably 5 to 4 hours we need to do the streaming today. Yes, I guess that was how thick it should be, but problem with that in my head is that I do kind of like, because if I draw this long like that, this thick of the sole like this, and it is going to look odd to say the least. There, like that. And we can erase this one, but the problem I would have with this one, is even though okay, I see now the issues right here. I do see that, and give me a second. Yeah, I do see the issues right here we have here. So I am going to go ahead and kind of an arc, so like that, and the feet, in my opinion, should be something like this, equal, like this, and then it goes up and goes out like and like feet should be like this. So if we are going to add boots on top, it should be something like this and something like this. So based on that, my boot right here is a bit longer, but I do kind of like this because it's going like this, slightly longer. It makes kind of sense that the boot would be slightly long, but the feet should end right here, right? Or right here. Feet should end right here. This part and this. Yeah, it's kind of aligning. That this should go up right there, and this should end right here. So for that reason, I need to be here and right here, right? And this should go up like that, and it comes like this, etc., etc. What we can do is, okay, we need to undo all that, but it kind of gives me some landmarks there. And I need to raise this, or at least I need to erase this part slightly, maybe slightly this, need to go slightly forward. And slightly like this. So my first attempt was right. My first attempt was absolutely right. The boot is okay, no, I don't like that either. Probably technically right, but not something that I am enjoying or something that I agree with. Maybe we need to make the boots slightly like that. Maybe this would make sense. So this is why this is still a rough stage. We're still figuring out. We have figured a lot of, like we have figured 90% of it out, or the majority of this. The main thing we have figured out is the pose, and we have done the face. We have done entire torso of this character. Now we are figuring out the boot part. I need to work more on observing how the boot's supposed to look like, especially if it's the three-dimensional. If we have to add three-dimensionality, we have to curve that inside like that, because it is moving away as it's curving in. It's moving away from the eyesight, or from the view. It's gonna be ever so subtle, it is definitely going to move. And at this point, I feel like we are better than before. Even though the shoes itself looks slightly smaller, which I don't know how I feel about. I need to again look at people's feet and figure out. The thing is, his legs are ginormous, so I kind of have to look at someone whose legs are ginormous and look at the boots, the shoes here. These shoes are really small as compared to his legs, so we have to look at someone who has ginormous legs and then compare his boots to mine and look at the proportionality of that. I feel like I need for my shoes to be slightly bigger than the hands or big enough that they look like feet. But other than that, I think this leg looks pretty much done for the rough session. I do need to have coherence. That's why we are just right inking draw on top of this. This will start to look like a finished version and it will look more coherent. Probably going to add some boots features onto this sketch. But for now, if I look at this, I am kind of happy to know that this leg I'm talking about, the leg that I was working on, kind of happy that it looks for the rough sketch, it looks close to what we had drawn on the top. You need to remember that that is a pencil version on the piece of paper and this is digital, so there's going to be huge difference between the texture and the shading. Paper and pencil gives you more dynamic shading. Here we get really easily to 100%. Paper is kind of more exponential. You still slowly add more texture or more shading onto your sketch, and if something that is already is very dark, you add more layer of graphite, it still adds a little bit more darker area to what already have been there. So as I said, I think we keep on going to shutting it down, and I feel like even though it is not the time, but I feel like I need to go to the bathroom for a little business there and I have to come back. I want to keep streaming, I want to keep talking and streaming, and I want to move on to at least this arm and clean this arm a bit, maybe move to the face, or maybe not so much because face seems like almost finished. So how about we draw on rather than draw rough. There's enough rough there for me to move on to pencil. As I said, look at that, how the shading looks so real, so good, because there's more. The more you add graphite, the more shading. It's more dynamic on piece of paper. There is cons and pros. The mistakes would be huge, and it's not easy to figure out what the mistakes are, because you don't have this ability to rotate, flip your image, so on and so forth, erase the way that you can do it here and save the previous work. Plus, you cannot go zoom in the canvas and have more resolution, or look up close into the resolution and have a better drawing with a better resolution. So these are the issues right here. I mean, I feel like I need to draw this. Yeah. How about that? How about that? That looks amazing, doesn't it? Now, if you zoom out, look at that. That looks amazing. I have to clean that, and I have to add good line art on top. I think we can do that. We don't need to convert this 100% or clean this 100% of what we're trying to do. Plus, that would be more work. So all we have to do is clean or finish the legs, add the boot, add the gloves, and move on to the next part. For now, I feel like I may need to take a break for a while before I go. So thank you for sticking around. We are 15 minutes into our streaming, not 60 fully, 50 minutes, and let's just, like, I need to go, but let's just try to clean the arm as much as we can before we completely finish. Let me see if I am the one who's viewing my stream. Rather than that, let's just go to my profile. Hopefully we are live streaming, and hopefully this one viewer removes and there are 0 viewers now. So there's someone who's watching this stream, someone really likes my work. Thank you, whoever that person is. I hope you like it and share it and subscribe to my Twitch, subscribe to my DLive, share the link of my work, share my work with other people. Hopefully I do get some following. I feel like this muscle needs to be like that, not this line, not this line, that line, like that. Yeah, for some reason I think that's right. And plus, I feel like I need to lower this area ever so slightly. Lower this area ever so slightly, move around and see. If you can finish some of this work. Trying to finish this hand is going to be much more. Okay, I think I need to go. I would come back and then in a few minutes, not like yesterday. I did promise yesterday I would come, but that was too late, so I decided not to come. But right now I'm going. Thank you for hanging around with me, thank you for sticking around with me, thank you for hanging out with me. I'm gonna go. It's 54 minutes and 28 seconds and I'm about to shut off the stream. So thank you for visiting it, staying with me, viewing my page. Go ahead, follow me on Twitter. I have opened my Instagram. Go there, follow me on there, follow me on DLive. Thank you for sticking around. See you in a few minutes. I will come back. No, you can stay tuned. I will promise I would come back. Thank you and goodbye. Not goodbye to meet tomorrow. I'm gonna meet you in a few minutes. Thank you. Stay tuned and see you in 15 minutes.